Welcome back to Sunrise Today, focusing on the internal wranglings within the PDP and how they intend to sort that out. But you were talking about, good people staying away?
Yes.
How does that help?
You see, in the first instance, it's the quality of materials that's available to a political party that it chooses its leaders from. Imagine if more people who had a lot of views and a lot of opinion and who are very good at armchair criticizing of systems were to just be interested in one of the political parties. There are 5 things quickly that they could do. 1, they could be sympathizers and contribute ideas. 2, they could join physically and be there and participate. They could do research on their behalf and fund. They could just be following them and offering reasonable, realistic suggestion in a way to influence the things they do. But the problem is that we leave the entire political space to people that are of questionable character, so to speak. And those who are not of questionable character, they don't have the innate skills to know what to look out for in a good leader or in a good representative or in a good anything. And then you then say that the best of you stay away. And then whoever likes joins, and then you have this kind of crisis. To focus it back to where we are in PDP, we're still the biggest party in Nigeria. The APC can never call itself a party. It calls itself a political party, but they know in their hearts that they can't be.
Without prejudice to them, of course.
Without prejudice to them. If they were a political party, would they have the executive, majority in the Senate, majority in the Rep, and everything would be like this? And their leaders.
That's a different matter.
So what I'm saying in essence is that the PDP seems to be one institution that Nigeria, all of us now together, can present to the world as what we created by ourselves without influences from outside.
What's happening now? Does it suggest to you that we're heading to a one-party state?
No, we can never head to a one-party state. That's not going to happen.
But you have a situation where the PDP is fighting, and so many members of the PDP are already decamping to the APC.
Well, it's tiring, to be honest. It's quite tiring because all politics must be played at the local level. You look at your state and see what's going on with the alternative political party. What are they doing? And all that. You look at your party and you are asking, well, how long can you continue like this? It could be tiring. What we just plead with our people to endure a little bit, and we will then plead with the judiciary, the Supreme Court, the highest court in our land, to understand that fundamentally the issues that is before them for determination is not simply a Alimodi Sheriff versus McAfee issue. It goes down into the foundation of how party organizations will be going forward. And that is that, can a convention of a political party, which is supposed to be the highest conglomeration of members of that party and the stakeholders, can they take any decision they think is in the best interest of their party, and will it stand? Or are we to say that we have now become we have gotten ourselves into a situation where, if we're not careful, smart Alex will manipulate legal processes and create all sorts of legal bottleneck and hem in a political party until a fait accompli will be on their hands? If the Supreme Court decides and says that, okay, we have looked at it very well, it's all right, Sheriff is the chairman, what we must then do is that, for the sake of our own institution, we must respect the integrity of our courts. For I have seen also from this PDP crisis a new danger that requires us to manage quickly,
which is,
we cannot be a people that obey court orders only when it favors us. We must truly be a people that can respect court orders, because if we don't respect court orders, we'll go back to self-help.
Are you saying that McAfee did not respect
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, I haven't said that. We must quickly ensure that our judiciary has the required level of perception of integrity, to the point that when they give orders or when they make pronouncement, a good number of us in society can respect it. So what's happening right now is that the politicians and those who are the drivers of our party, the ones that understand the soul of our party, they know that whatever it is that Alimodi Sheriff is standing on may not be in the interest of the party in the long run.
So can we then, do you think then that ultimately it is the Supreme Court decision that will decide what actually becomes of PDP?
Absolutely. If the Supreme Court rules and says this is the position, then that's when we're going to put to test the effort of the Seriaki District Reconciliation Committee. For whatever the court will rule in the final, when there's nowhere else to run to except to the World Court, and the World Court does not entertain issues of PDP. So that means once you get to the Supreme Court, everybody has exhausted all the leverage available to them legally. That's when we're now going to know the material that the Reconciliation Committee is made of. For the Reconciliation Committee is still going to be saddled with the responsibility of making sure that everybody now comes back to their senses and everybody now does what is. If you ask me what is the best solution, I'll just say that start the entire congresses all over again. Go back to local government congresses. What congresses?
When? Before or after the court ruling? The Supreme Court decision?
If all parties can come out of court, that would be good. If they can't come out of court, just start it all over again. The reason is this. These issues did not just become a challenge. It became a challenge because some people tried to manipulate Port Harcourt. We need to get that straight. People went to Port Harcourt believing that congresses are taking place in some location and a reasonable delegate list had been generated. It was a great embarrassment when we got to Port Harcourt and people saw that these things were now being changed and all that, and that pitted people in camps.
Do you believe that the Dixon committee started on a good footing?
I think the Dixon committee did start on a good footing. And the reason why I say they did start on a good footing is that the committee had been in existence long before the final pronouncement of the Court of Appeal. And I would have expected that we should have been hearing them, not until the Court of Appeal had done what it had done. And even when they now came up after the Court of Appeal, there is a language for reconciliation and peace. You cannot jump into the fray and start to pretend as if you are flexing muscles with one of the combatants. What you're trying to do is to get all of them to come to the table, and what you're trying to do is to get all of them to look to what is in the best interest of the party. And you also have to know there are trust issues here. There are those who you can easily believe can be trusted, and there are those that the antecedent makes it extremely difficult for you to trust them.
All right, Mr. Segun Sowunmi is a member of the PDP. Thank you for coming on this morning. Well, now we change gear and talk about, you may have seen the new twist. What becomes of the acting AFCC chair's position? We'll sample that with this report. Take a look.